You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 234, posted March 2020. Big Trouble in Little Barovia.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I'm your Dungeon Master, Tony Sindelar, here leading a new adventure as our characters. You've met some of them before, you met some of them briefly last time. Continue to explore the horrible land of Barovia. Why, oh why, are our characters back in Barovia? Is this Tony's fault because he's running the adventure now, or Dan's fault because he set this up before he left? Hard to say. Will burying the body of the recently deceased Burgermeister be as easy as it seems, or are more sinister happenings afoot? For answers to questions such as these, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. Adventurers roll call. Let us quickly meet our players and characters. Starting from the city that I'm in, roughly, Boston, Massachusetts, the Athens of America. Sorry, Athens, Georgia. It's Dan Morin.
Hi, I'm playing a Warforged cleric named Cast in Onatar's Crucible, or Crucible for short.
Also, not too far away, it's Jane Ritt.
Hi, I am a human rogue named Lena Lena.
From sunny California, it's Micah Sargent.
Hi, I am Elevor, the half-elf druid.
From the Pacific Northwest, basically the Barovia of America, it's Aline Sims.
That's definitely what they say about us here in Seattle. I am playing Imra Soliana, a wood elf ranger, and also Androdite, her mastiff companion.
And from Edmonton, the Barovia of Canada, conventionally, it's Erica Ensign.
We actually get more sun than, like, Miami, I think.
I
It's
don't
close.
know anything about Canada.
I am playing Brildish, a dwarven paladin who has a celestial pony named Pony Cindelarnt.
That's what I get for running an adventure for these nerds. So, last time you had found yourself stuck in Barovia, Little Barovia, also Big Barovia, and you wasted little time making some new friends and acquaintances. You have befriended, bequaintanced Ismark Kolyana, the son of the Burgermeister, which is the ridiculous old-timey European name for a mayor. He is sad because his dad is dead, and he needs people to help him bury his father. And you seem to at least have someone agreed to help with that. So we join our group. I guess some of you are in the foyer and some of you are on the steps outside the Burgermeister's mansion, which lies in ruins. Ismark Kolyana is here. His sister, Irina Kolyana, is here. The father, their father, the Burgermeister, his body is here since he has been dead 3 days.
Can I start helping take down the boards on the door? Because we're going to need to get them out of the way in order to get a coffin and body
Very
out.
true. Logistics.
Indeed. You know, I will tell you that is for a level 5 adventure such as yourself with the help of a Pribar. That is a trivial task, and you set about doing that. You make quick work of it.
All right.
I'm going to make sure there aren't any like rumples in the carpet so we don't have one of those horribly hokey things where we drop the coffin and the person spills out. So I'm just sort of smoothing out the carpet runners.
You smooth out the carpet runners in this house that has been tormented by forces of the devil himself and is littered with broken furniture and
Carpet
broken
looks
glass
great.
and all kinds of stuff, but the carpet is solid. Safety first.
Can I also use like some of this wood and maybe some other broken furniture and my smith's tools to put together a travois to be able to drag the coffin so we don't actually have to physically carry it this whole way?
Can you explain to your listeners and your dungeon master what that means?
Okay. Well,
that word.
All right. So a travois is
hold on. Do they have a French accent in Barovia? I don't know if this is canon.
I don't know. But like the most basic version would be sort of taking two like long sturdy sticks or logs and tying them together at one end. So it makes sort of a V
Okay.
and then tying each of the wide ends of the V to a harness or something on the pony. So we'll have to rig
So
up
you were
something on the
basically
pony.
making kind of a sled you can drag the coffin in instead of having to carry it through
so
the
it's kind of
streets of
coming
Little
to
Barovia.
a point. So rather than dragging a giant bureau down the street that's just like bumping over everything, there's really one point of contact with the ground. So it makes like a divot.
I'll point out it's pretty much a straight shot. You know, the Burgermeister's mansion is on the south side of town. The church is on the north side of town, but Barovia is a very small village. You basically head north to the town center and then take another path north from that. And, you know, the streets in Little Barovia are relatively wide, canonically 2 ways. Also, very little traffic in Barovia. Come to Barovia. The property values are abysmal. There is no traffic. Everyone lives under some horrible curse.
Crucible has some smith's tools. Which, in fact, as he goes over to Broldish, who is working on the travois, he sort of does this, like, you know, thing, and, you know, his arm almost, like, goes, like, retracts, and then, like, he produces smith's tools from it, and he's, perhaps I could be of some service. I am a servant of Onatar, the god of the forge. Smithing is my specialty.
Oh, my goodness. You're really cool, buddy.
Thank you. That is very kind of you to say.
So, Broldish and Citadel, not Citadel, sorry. Broldish and, that could be your brother. Broldish and
I inevitably die.
Crucible are working on building a travois.
Yeah, let's say yes.
Let me just ask a question. I took high school French. Should the word sound like I'm asking a question? Travois?
Yeah, that's a French accent.
Okay.
There you go.
If you want to be American, you can say travois.
Oh, hey, I'm travoising here.
Travoer.
Hello, welcome to.
I would like to point out that
Dungeons
the first use of rope is episode 2.
That's true.
Of this
Imra,
adventure.
did you want to do something that was not rope related?
I'm just gonna stand here with Androdite, kind of keeping an eye out, just in case anything sneaks up. In fact, I would like to do a perception check to see if there's anything, again, abnormally creepy happening around here. And that's 16. All
right, you peer around. You know, things seem relatively quiet and safe here. You do notice there are a lot of there are paw prints in the mud outside the mansion. Seems like they might be wolf, but very large wolf related, and there's a lot of them coming and going on top of each other.
I think I want to get my longbow out and just kind of casually knock an arrow just in case something happens. Like, I don't like it here. I don't trust it. I want to be ready.
Elevor takes a small vial out of his cloak and walks out to where the wolf tracks are and drips along the wood or along the wood. Words are hard. Along the wolf tracks.
Tell me about it.
And he walks back inside and just sort of smiles smugly. Now, all of you don't hear this, but Dungeon Master, what I've just poured on the wolf tracks is bear urine. And so my thought is that the bear is more scary than a wolf. And so the wolves will smell the bear urine and they won't want to go around it. And it is canonical that I was friends with a bear, so I could definitely ask it for its urine, and I definitely did.
How do we scare away the bears?
My question, how do you treat your friends?
I was going to say, you know what? First off, I'm going to allow this because I don't want to continue this line of questioning, and this is this is my approach to dungeon mastering, but I don't think canonically you ever asked that bear for its urine.
Look, that was behind the scenes.
Oh, it was implied.
Thank goodness.
Through friendship.
Yes. Yeah.
It's implied that you swap urine. That's what friendship means.
Micah, you went California fast.
We had several days of travel before we ended up in Barovia. So it's possible that very same bear could have stumbled across us, and during that time,
yes,
the bear and Elevor had a little sit down, and I don't want to think about it.
It was just hey,
God, I thought that Lena had a dark past.
I thought I was in charge here, and I do not know how to get us beyond bear urine. So here we are.
I'm pausing everybody here because this in our world, in our human world, hunters carry urine all the time. Like, that's a thing.
That's not the part that
Yeah.
we're disputing.
No, Michael, we're with you there. They buy bear urine at like a Walmart. They don't borrow bear urine from a
It's
friend
better
who's bear.
from the source. There's no wall.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
artisanal small batch bear urine?
Artisanal free range bear pee.
I had a
Thank
chance
you.
to ask the bear about this, and the bear said, "That's pretty weird."
Look, I didn't say it wasn't weirded out by it, but it happened.
You know, I mean, you are a druid, so I'll allow it.
Thank you.
All right.
That sounds right.
So my Elvar, it does occur to you, you are a druid, and you were interacting with those with those wolf tracks. Those wolf tracks were pretty large. In fact, you think some of them might be dire wolves, and I don't totally know what the hierarchy is between dire wolf and non-dire bear. Like, I know dire bear beats
Can I
dire
roll
wolf,
for nature? Can I roll a nature check and see?
and I know bear beats wolf.
bear beats wolf, but does it?
Dire
beat
bear
wolf?
beats dire wolf, but dire wolf versus bear.
Somebody roll
That's-
nature.
I'm gonna roll
Direwolf-
nature. I've got
Direwolf
great
versus
nature.
Bear is the next straight to TV movie on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
17, 21. on
Okay,
nature
look up the
check.
challenge rating.
Yeah, all right, yeah, Micah, I literally don't know. This is on you to tell me which of those is scarier.
Oh, great. Now I've got, okay, let's see.
You're welcome.
Homework.
Bear. All right, a bear, cave bear, brown bear, black bear, polar bear.
I think it was a cave bear. You met him in a cave.
All
Dan,
right.
canonical.
Sounds fair.
Cave
Direwolf is
bear.
challenge 1.
Challenge has 2.
Bear wins.
Oh,
Ah,
Yes!
Nice
Cave
work.
bear urine beats dire wolf paw.
I mean, I'll just say asterisk. Direwolf it loses to, if there's only one direwolf, it loses to a bear.
How many?
The
So
wolves,
Dan,
traditionally-
conversion rate. How many dire wolves to one bear do we? Is a
oh,
Presumably
because of pack
2
tactics.
because of challenge ratings, right?
yeah.
Is
So-
that canonical? One challenge,
what
if
if
you
we
get
go
2
off hit
one
points?
challenge rating, it beats a 2 challenge rating.
Yeah.
This is really important. Let's definitely spend more time on
Yeah,
this.
this is all gold. This is all wolf bear math. This is
Wolf bear
actually, you know
math.
what? This is better than that urine situation.
I will
So-
say Wolf Bear
Yeah.
Math was the character I almost played.
I was told there'd be no math. All right. So you've inspected the wolf tracks. You have interacted with them. People are preparing the trebois to carry the body of the former Burgermeister. Ismark is kind of collapsed in a corner. It looks like he's snoring loudly. Arena is just kind of watching everything that's going on and is, trying to help as much as she can, but is mainly observing. Imra, you are basically kind of on guard. Lena, anything that you want to do in particular?
Irina, surely you and your brother will want to come with us so that you can pray over your father's body.
Surely.
Did he leave any documents about how he wished to be buried, or perhaps a treasured journal he would like to have with him?
I do not think so, but the priest will see to these things.
Crucible pipes up. I would be happy to perform a rite over your father's body once we reach the cemetery. It would be my privilege as a priest of Onatar.
I would appreciate that, and I think he would too. It is our people's custom to conduct burials at first dawn. The deity that my people worship is the Morning Lord, and it is believed that is when he is strongest, is at first light. That is when my father's spirit will be safe and pass on, is our belief.
Well, perhaps we want to load this device up.
Let's do it.
mhm.
All right, you load the body of the former Burgermeister into the trebois.
On
Yes, we do.
Onto.
to. Lash it down.
The Trevor.
There's not even an R in it.
That's what we call it when Elevor turns into a travois.
And so you start the slow procession through town. Is some creature pulling the trebois?
Pony.
If only we had
Pony.
Spurious here to play some funeral dirge.
Indeed, you
Mhm.
don't, and it is in fact very quiet in your procession as you're kind of shuffling, through the mud. I assume that you just want to take the straight shot. You don't want to take the scenic route.
No, thank
you.
No.
Greets.
But Lena is keeping a very close eye out for the way that the other townspeople are reacting and any unusual reactions or strong reactions from particular people.
There is no sign of the townspeople. Like the windows, like the shutters on the windows are like closing as you get within sign. Nobody's on the street. Everything is empty. No one wants anything to do with you. And so you start heading north. I would say you make it about halfway up the block toward the center of town when you pass a house that sounds like there is someone wailing inside the house.
I don't care about anybody crying anywhere. I just want to get this body where it needs to go.
Is this the house I was trapped in not too long ago?
No, it's another house. Dungeons and Dragons. There's more than one house.
Weird.
Imagine it.
So Irina is here with us, right?
Yeah, Irina and Ismark are there with you.
Who lives in that house?
Are you asking Ismark or are you asking Irina? You might get different.
I'm
answers.
asking
ask
Irina.
Ismark.
Please assume that I am always at all times ignoring Ismark.
Well played. Excuse me. Well played.
Crucible is
God,
keeping Ismark
everything.
occupied.
Mhm.
He has infinite patience.
He taught him tic-tac-toe.
Yes. Irina says, "There's a woman there. They call her Mad Mary. She's been doing that for a while."
Oh. Well, situation normal. We can proceed.
All right. And so you proceed north to the town square, leaving the wailing house
Stay on
behind.
target.
Nice try, Dungeon Master.
We can always come back if we decide to find out why she's wailing.
All right. As you
People do that here. It happens.
Oh.
As you get to the town center, you notice something unusual. This is the first foot traffic you have seen in Barovia, Little Barovia. There is a kind of an elderly woman, and she's pushing kind of a little cart on wheels, and she has stopped it in front of a house and is knocking on the door. It's about, it's several houses down the intersection, and it's not the way you need to go.
Who's
an
that
mimic.
lady? I ask Irina.
I do not know. I don't think she lives here.
I'm sorry, what? Does it
Maybe
live
she-
Little Barovia or Big Barovia?
Little Barovia.
Gotcha.
Everybody lives in Big Barovia or dies.
Is she in our way?
No, she's totally not in your way.
Don't mess with it. Don't touch
Okay.
it. That's my vote.
But maybe
Alright.
she's selling ice cream.
No, Bruldish. Since when were you into
Right.
ice cream?
Crucible will make a quick perception check.
Yep.
19.
19 Crucible. The woman does seem to be pushing a little cart of the kind that you might sell confections out of.
Oh God!
Ha, ha.
Do not eat it.
And she's on the front steps of a house and has knocked on the door, and she's holding up. It looks like one of the Barovians is peeking out. The door is cracked a little bit, and she's holding up a bag. Unclear what's in the bag. It looks like it's kind of
Icker.
no. It looks like it's probably got some kind of, it's like a pastry bag. It's a little greasy, probably because whatever inside it is cooked with a lot of butter. And they seem to be discussing a price.
Elevor has seen Spirited Away. He knows better than to eat the foods here.
All right. Elevor wants to keep going.
Alvor's
we-
getting
We are
very
fooling
hungry.
a 3-day-old corpse, so
Yep.
I feel like our appetite probably not at the
True.
highest
That's true.
level.
Very true.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we only have so much food with us. Eventually, we're going to have to eat something.
I
Yeah,
think you
but
just
not
want
that
the
something.
sweet
Fun fact,
Bruldish.
I don't have to eat.
Ooh,
Well, that's neat, Crucible.
that is pretty fun. How do
You'll
you
have to
stay
tell me about
alive?
that.
I am self-sustaining.
Wait, you eat yourself?
Wow.
No, I am powered by my own energy, my own internal.
Oh my God,
And-
you're one of those little desk toys with a bird and it just goes up and down all by itself.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds very interesting.
I'll have to tell you about that as well sometime.
And so you proceed slightly northwest, past the center of town, toward the church on the edge of town.
And all the
Gr-
tricksy demons along the way.
Hey, they'll still be there. So the church is on a slight rise. it's kind of built directly in the shadow of the cliffs that supports the big castle that looms over the village of Barovia. And the church is kind of this sagging gray edifice of stone. It's got wooden roofs, and it is obviously kind of weathered some rough times. The bell tower is pretty crooked. There is some kind of flickering lights from candles in some of the windows, but like the roof just looks like it is not in great condition. But there is kind of an old elderly man in priest vestments waiting at the door, trying to look about as welcoming as someone in Barovia can. Let me see if this works when I show it to players. This is Father Donovich, so he's a little, he definitely old man, hair is thinning, looks like he probably has not slept much in the last ever, but he's doing his best.
Could I make a
Hail, priest! We may bring a poor soul in need of your tending.
Yes, I've been expecting you. Please bring him in.
Can I make a quick religion check to see if I know anything about this particular priest or what he serves? BA 11.
I will say that you have no
I
knowledge.
also tried and I got a 5.
Yeah, I would say that neither of you have any knowledge of what kind of priest this is. And like specifically, it does not seem to line up with religions or faiths or deities that you are familiar with. The church has a bunch of kind of, I think they're generic enough that you would be able to recognize the idea of like sun iconography. But it is not of a specific, and there's a variety of deities connected to sun and light and dawn and daybreak and whatnot. But you do not recognize the icons here as connected to any specific deities that you might be familiar with, given your relatively, I don't know, both of you have kind of religious schooling / upbringing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is most fascinating. I'm intrigued to learn more about this deity.
Please come in. He
dragging.
Yes, Crucible is not carrying his side of the trebois.
Yeah, at this point, maybe does it look like it would make sense for Pony to drag it all the way in, or should we be carrying it from this point?
I think you should probably carry it from this point into the church.
All right.
Yeah.
And we will unhook it from the trebois, and I say, Pony, wait over here, and I just point.
All right. So, Ismark and Irina are with you as well, though they are pretty, they're somewhat contemplative and quiet as they are escorting the body of their father into a church. So, Father Donovich shows you into the church, and, the church is not in the best of shape. Yeah, it's not great. A lot of holes in the ceiling. The furniture is, it's in shambles. But he kind of shows you down a narrow hallway that leads to the main hall of the church. And there's kind of a space with an altar where he suggests that you the coffin.
Holy
there.
moly, it's a mess in here.
Yeah, it's the whole place is kind of smells moldy and not great. The chapel is it's in shambles. Everything is overturned. The pews are kind of broken into pieces. Candles are knocked over. It's not in a good look. And Brother Donovich is kind of apologetic and says, "I'm sorry. It's been a while since we've been able to assemble the flock for a proper service,
or assemble the pews."
These have been trying times in Barovia. I'm sure you understand.
Well, I don't actually. Why have they been trying times? I'm new here.
Sometimes are more trying than others. This is one of the trying times.
I turn to Elivor and say, "I see what you mean."
Yeah, you get it? Yeah. Can I ask you, Father Bongovich? So what's it?
Donovich, my son.
Sorry, say again.
Donovich.
Dumbleditch.
Oh man, we're on tape delay here. Hold on.
Great.
That was an accident. That was
That's
not
what
meant to
happens when you make
happen.
fun of people's names.
I wasn't making
We're
fun.
doing it live.
It has been canon that he is very bad at pronouncing names. He got Spurious's name wrong a lot. He got Father Dongle Ditch, D-I-T-C-H, wrong as well.
Yes,
Father.
Donovich.
Yes, Father.
Yes. Yes, my son.
Can you give me a little? So, yeah, these times are more trying than other, but what does that mean? What makes these times trying?
He kind of draws you aside just to, like, so he can chat with you without Ismark and Arena being right there, and he says, their family has been tested, but under great stresses for some time now, and it has not been good. And the people of Barovia, if they are not, of Little Barovia, of course, if they are not united behind a strong leader, they are quick to fall into despair, and it is understandable that Irina and Ismark, their father, he did what he could, but unfortunately, he is no longer with us.
So the troubles of this family have resulted in the troubles of this city. And do you care to tell me about the troubles of this family? Why
It's best not to speak of the devil in this most sacred place.
Oh, I see.
There's a crash of lightning.
So that's why nobody's telling us anything, because if you talk about it, it potentially summons the...
In many
right.
cultures, speaking of a thing, it incurs some sort of power. Perhaps they believe it so in this place.
Oh, it's like if you say Beetlejuice 3 times.
Wait. Huh?
Or he who shall not be named.
This is a church, sir.
I am a cleric. How fortunate.
It is good to see another being of the cloth.
Speaking of which, are we going to be here a little while for this whole burial thing? I think they said we were going to wait through the night. Was that the
prayers?
Deal? It is customary for those to stay with the body and to watch over it for the night, and we will bury it at first light. I've already seen that a grave has been prepared.
If we have some time, I would like to spend about an hour and 10 minutes doing the ceremony spell as a ritual, which I can do.
This character is a real party animal.
Does it involve dancing?
Who's getting married?
Yeah,
no one's getting
Dan,
married.
if you marry another person in my campaigns, so
I was not involved in that. No, I was going to do a funeral rite. Which allows me to touch one corpse, and for the next 7 days, the target can't become undead by any means short of a wish spell.
Okay.
Ooh.
That sounds...
I'm going to perform
You know what?
that.
That is going to be super convenient in this adventure.
Cleric, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting the vibe.
Yeah. Dan, just checking, how often can you do that?
It's a ritual, so I can do it basically whenever. It just takes 70 minutes.
Okay. So there's...
Guess what? I can do it too if I prepare it.
Well, I was going to ask who's going to do it on Dan if Dan dies. So, sorry, when?
I
mean, constructs becoming undead, is that even a thing?
That would be scary.
I'll find a way. Nature finds a way. Elivar's chatting with Father Donovich, who actually seems kind of like to welcome some company, though he is, trying to be a little cautious about what he can chat about in this space. Irina and Ismark are kind of watching over their father and arranging the flowers in his coffin, and maybe they're occasionally asking for help to get it just right on by the altar and whatnot, and clearing a little bit of space around it so that he's not just sitting in a pile of wreckage from broken pews. Anyone else want to do anything particular in the coffin? Not in the coffin, in the church. It seems like the implication here is that he is asking that people stay and watch over the body overnight until the dawn at which it'll be buried. Father Donovich is an old man. He's not planning to stay up all night.
Well, one of Brilgis's personality trait is that I just want everybody to be my friend. So I'm going to sit down next to Lena and say, so hi, Lena, what do you like to do?
I don't understand the question.
You don't do anything for fun?
Those who remain idle and not wary soon meet a bitter end in these lands.
Jane, Lena gains inspiration.
So
Please-
your idea
please
of fun
continue.
is being idle? My idea of fun is killing orcs.
Oh, maybe we do have something in common.
Yeah. I would
There, if you seek if you seek quarries to keep you stimulated, well, these lands will provide much in those ways. There are dark forces and evils around every corner.
Wow. Sounds like I may have come to the right place. I would love someday to stand next to you in battle and see you use those amazing swords.
Well, you can only hope that it's during the day. The ones that come by night are the ones you truly must fear.
Ooh, I'm learning so much.
And lightning crash again.
Lightning crash.
Bats.
Yes. Thank you, Micah.
I am going to continue standing back here,
Mhm.
paying attention.
All right, you're
watching
keeping
it
a
all.
watch over the whole
I
room.
am.
You
Yep.
know, it is. Though the lands of Barovia are unsettling and miserable, it does seem. I mean, the safest they are is during the daytime, which it is still. You still got an hour or two more of that. So it does. And you are in a church. You know, this might be the safest place you could be.
Do you think in the time that Elevor has been talking to the priest, he will have learned like his religion? Because that's what I was going to ask
Mhm.
next.
Yes. So Brother Donovich is happy to chat with you about Barovians and the nature of faith. Yes. What was your name again?
Elevor.
Oh, it is a pleasure to have you here in our house of worship.
Thank
let
you,
me
Father,
tell you,
and I apologize for my misunderstanding of your name earlier.
it's very okay. I understand. We must forgive each other here in Barovia. It's a hard land, but the people they are hard people too. But sometimes we must be soft. The people of Barovia. I know you are a traveler. You do not know our ways. There are two forces that we believe watch over the lands and over our people. The Morning Lord and Mother Night. The Morning Lord watches over the people and the lands from sunrise until sundown. But they say the sun used to shine much brighter before the fog, before the mists, and that you could truly gaze upon the face of the Morning Lord in the before times. But these days, the Morning Lord, some Barovians, they've given up faith. They believe she does not answer their prayers. The presence of Mother Night is from dusk until dawn, but the prayers to her, some people, they say they go unanswered. The people of Barovia, as you can see, they are not a lot of believers here. That not many of the people of the town come here. It is hard to get them to believe in anything. They believe they are all doomed to die at the hands of him and his servants. They believe that they have transgressed, and for that their lives will be brief and miserable. And I teach a different way, that we must find the light that we can in these dark times, and it is there that we find the works of the Morning Lord.
Okay, finding the light in the Morning Lord. So,
But I caution you this: do not go near that castle on the cliffs. That is the seat of his power.
that's
Stay
where
stay. Do not wander there.
that is where the devil lives.
He spits on the ground. Yes.
Okay. So you're on the lookout for the Morning Lord, but nobody's looking for Mother Night anymore?
Well, this is a temple to the Morning Lord. So.
Gotcha. Understood. Well, thank you, Father. I appreciate you explaining your beliefs, and I believe that all of us here will respect those beliefs, and learning a little bit more about Barovia and everything that you're dealing with here is helpful. So we appreciate it.
It is a good thing that you do here for Ismark and Arena. They have been through so much, and
Can I ask you something?
He pulls you
actually,
aside
Father?
a little bit further, and he looks like he's ready to whisper something to you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
they do not talk about this very much, but I tell you this because perhaps your time here is in Little Barovia is brief. But Irina Kolyana, she is not the natural born daughter of the Burgermeister of Kolyana Indirovich. The Burgermeister he found her when she was a small girl. She had been lost on the edge of the woods, and he brought her into the town and raised her as her own. But she does not have to stay here in Little Barovia, and I think if she does stay here, she will not live long. Please encourage her to leave Barovia, Little Barovia, and go anywhere else, and somewhere far from the shadow of that wretched castle high above us, somewhere further from his reach.
Have you encouraged her to leave before? How does she respond?
Well, I mean, she would not leave her father, and now she is not sure what to do about her brother. And Ismark, he is still wrestling with his role as, I mean, he must become the new Burgermeister. The people of Barovia, Little Barovia, they need a leader to look to. They need someone strong. Ismark is not strong now, but he could be. He could find a way. But Irina, she does not need to stay here. She could go somewhere else, somewhere better.
So can I ask you, how do you deal with Ismark? Like, what? Can you teach me a little bit about patience here?
He's not always like this. His father died, and he has been drinking very heavily.
So normally he would have made a good Burgermeister. It's the alcohol.
It's too hard to say. He is very young.
Ah, how old are these two?
I would say that they both look like they're in their early 20s. You know, by Barovian standards, middle-aged.
Great.
Thank you, Father. If you think of anything else that could help us help them, I hope you'd let us know, because genuinely we are here to do our best and to help out.
No, it is a good thing that you do. Let me just share with you, because I realized I had not done it. This is Irina Kolyana.
Whoa. He's got a sword.
And this is Ismark.
The lesser.
A little on the nose there.
Yeah. So that's them. Got a little bit more since. So, yeah. Elevar, anything else you want to chat with Father Donovich about? And other people, you have plenty of things to do. You've got hours to kill. If there's any rituals you want to do or things you want to learn from each other or from Irina or Ismark, Father Donovich is, he is starting to look, he's an old man. He's getting tired. It looks like he might be heading toward bedtime sometime soon for him.
I'm going to sharpen
He's fading a little bit.
I'm going to sharpen my axe. I guess maybe I'll sharpen both of my axes, but specifically my sacred axe. Yes, you may notice Brildish has two axes strapped across her back.
A sharpened one and a dull one.
One of them looks way nicer than the other one, but the one that she pays the most attention to is the crappy old battered one.
I think Elevar would just say, one last question for you, Father. I can tell that you are waning and I want you to get your rest, but there's lots of talk of evil in the night. And how do you protect yourself? How does
I sleep here in a church.
Oh, this is the extent of your protection?
It's hallowed ground.
Thank you.
You will be safe here. Just do not wander from this chamber, he says, gesturing to the main chapel.
All right. I don't have anything else for him.
Father, where do you stay? Are you able to get there safely?
Yes, my quarters are just off the hallway here. I have a small room.
Good.
Can we walk you there?
Sure. And he holds out his arm because he's an old man and he's tired.
Crucible gladly takes his arm and walks him down the hall.
Okay. Let's see. He walks you to it's right next to this area here, so it's just off the main.
It's good Elevar didn't walk him because he'd have to flip that bed.
So, yeah. Okay. It's not an abandoned bed, Elevar. I just want you to know this adventure includes some urban exploration. You're going to see plenty of beds that have owners, and
you can just see Elevar's fingers are going like this.
I'm just
like, oh, God.
We'll do a members special about Elevar and his trip to the IKEA showroom.
Morning, Lord, give me strength.
Crucible, you help Father Donovich to his quarters. He's got a tiny, shabby little room just off the main chapel. It's very simple, and there's just there's a very basic bed, straw mattress, and there's kind of a wooden holy symbol in kind of a sun shape mounted over the bed, and he's prepared to turn in, go to sleep there. He's got a little table with a candle on it that he blows out.
Have a pleasant rest, Father. I assure you, we will remain vigilant and see that no harm comes to the former Burgermeister.
Please do not stray from the main chapel, for your safety, of course.
Of course. Thank you for your advice.
Good night. Okay. Crucible.
Yo.
It sounds like he locked the door after you left. You hear a click.
So pretty much as soon as the old man is in bed, Lena starts investigating the other doorways.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do too.
Oh, Imra, are you helping?
Yep, absolutely.
Do you and Lena want to chat about this, or do you just give a knowing glance and start looking at
I think I don't think we need words. I think we're just opening doors.
Crucible does one of these, like he puts up his finger and just like
Superstition will not help you here. Only information will help you.
All right. So
Elevor does give all that information to everyone that he learned.
Okay.
He's not going to keep that to himself.
Sure. And you may want to have Ismark and Arena are there, though they honestly look like they're pretty exhausted. They have probably not had a great last couple days, and I mean, Ismark is barely conscious, and Arena looks like she might drift off to sleep, just sitting kind of in a pew next to her father's coffin at any moment.
Crucible will encourage them both. Please feel free to rest. I assure you, we will keep watch.
Crucible, do you not require rest?
I was just going to ask
too. But I can be essentially. I go into like a state where I am still able to see and hear everything that's around me.
Oh, nice. I wonder if anyone will trust you. Imra, let's start with you. There are 4 doors on this little hallway. I guess there's the 5th door that leads outside, and you saw Father Donovich be led to one of them, so you know what's behind that door. Where do you want to go next?
I want to go to just across the hall from our father friend.
Okay. Let's see. So there is an unlocked wooden door there. You want to just peek in?
Yep.
All right, you peek in there. It looks like this is an office. There's an old desk and a chair, a wooden holy symbol mounted above them in a kind of a sunburst. It looks like there's a 10-foot long iron pole on one wall that looks like probably at one point it held a tapestry, but there's no longer a tapestry there. There's some wooden cabinets with tall doors on them on the far wall across from you.
Okay, I'm going to step in the room and roll a perception check.
Okay.
Or
you leaving the door open behind you or closing it?
I'll leave the door open.
All right.
And Androdite is staying in the hall.
All right. Lena, are you going to look at another door?
Yep.
Can you just
I will
position
look at
your token where you might be?
Yep. So let's go here.
Okay. So you and Imra went in similar. You're going on the other door on the eastern side of this hallway. Okay. Yep. Let me stick with Imra for a second, then I'll come back to you. So, Imra, you have stepped into this old office. What do you want to do?
Roll perception to, like, any papers that might look interesting or anything that looks like it's out of place.
Mm-hmm. Did you roll perception?
Yeah, it's 21.
Okay. It really just looks like an office. It looks like it doesn't get a ton of use, but it looks pretty inconspicuous. Just poking around. There's blank paper and quill and ink on the desk. There's some books piled up on the cabinet that look like they're all religious in nature. They've got names like Hymns to the Dawn, and things like that look like they're related to the Morning Lord. Doesn't look like anything else super exciting. There is a wooden box sitting on the chair in front of the desk.
I open the box.
You open the box. The box is empty. There's kind of a slot cut into the top of it. It looks like it might be a place to collect money. It is empty.
I will exit the room.
All right. Meanwhile, at another door very nearby, Lena, you are looking at a door.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons, there are doors. Sometimes corridors.
Is it locked?
The door is not locked.
Okay. Can I just quietly peep that bad boy open?
All right. Quietly, like you're going to do a stealth check, or just quietly, casually, quietly?
I'll do a stealth
All right.
check. That's a 21.
Nice.
All right. You quietly peek inside. This room is unlit. It is dark. It is also in real poor condition. The room smells very moldy. It looks like there's some visible holes in the ceiling of the church here, which have let in water and moisture. So there's like actual puddles of water, just standing water on the floor of this room. There are, pieces of the roof that have come in. The most conspicuous thing you noticed is there is right in the center of the room. There is actually, I guess it's in the corner. Right in the corner of the room is a rather conspicuous wooden trapdoor. You see it in kind of the southeast corner of the chamber.
I make a note of that and close the door.
Okay.
At this point, I think Elevor made really good friends with Father Dumbledore and would not want
Windwalker.
would feel very weird about everybody going through all this stuff. So
Brillish is purposefully just oblivious. She's just praying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't like that we're like creeping through this guy's church. It's like we sent him off to bed so we could creep through the church, and that feels weird for Elevor.
A church belongs to the people, Elevor.
The church belongs to the people, but not us people.
I just like to point out canonically, no lawyers in Barovia.
Let me ask. So basically, Elevor is just going to say, what is it that we're looking for in this church?
Remember the house.
We're staying here overnight. We need to understand what resources are available to us. And also, he was being mighty cagey about the legends of this land. Perhaps if he can't speak it out loud, he has written it in a book or has some sort of engravings. I don't know.
That's fair. And Imra, can I ask you what you found in the room you went into?
Nothing.
Did you find a donation box?
Well, that's awfully specific.
Nothing.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I think, okay. Being that everybody else would have gone into the rooms, I think Elevor will peek in the rooms that have already been looked into. Basically, Elevor just wants to leave a silver piece in the donation box.
Yeah. You could leave it on the altar too. That would be,
Oh, okay. I'll do that instead then.
Yeah.
And I'll mark that.
Okay.
There is a trapdoor in that room, but the room is flooded, so probably not especially useful.
And it's smelly.
Yes.
I want to check out this room.
All right.
I'm just quietly open the door.
Okay.
Non-stealthily.
But quietly.
I block the view from Elevor. Just
yeah. I mean,
all of his,
so he doesn't feel that.
Yeah,
maybe Crucible is chatting with him.
Go out the window.
So you're a druid. That must be really interesting.
What would you like to know?
I would love to know more about your faith and how you commune with nature.
Well, it involves, and we cut back to the other.
Thank you. All right, Imra, you peek into this room. This room seems to be another little bedroom. It's particularly kind of stark and barren. There's a little bed with a straw mattress in the center. Everything here is covered in a pretty thick layer of dust. There's another kind of symbol of a sunburst carved out of wood mounted over the bed. Does not really seem like there's anything here in terms of personal effects or whatnot.
I want to go in and look under the mattress because I know about the other trapdoor. Just to be sure. I just want to,
Aline, let's just pause for a second here. This is a game in a horrible land where a house tried to murder you, and you want to go in and look under a bed.
Under the bed.
Yeah.
All right. Proceed.
So I'm going to look under the bed. I'm leaving again.
Just a few questions. Can I hold your character sheet for a second?
Oh my God. Oh dear God.
So you're going to go into the room.
Androdite's staying in the hallway. I'm going
right.
into the room. I'm leaving the door open. I am carefully lifting the bed. I'm not here to destroy the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking things out.
You're just tilting the bed. You're not flipping a bed.
I'm just tilting the bed. I'll even put it back nicely if I
Yeah.
survive.
All right. There is a thick carpet of dust under that bed, but nothing else.
Okay. So I'm gonna leave the room then.
All right.
Living
You put-
dust.
After very carefully
Also-
rearranging
Yes,
things.
you put the
As
dust
soon
back where you
as-
found it.
Yes,
You make your way back
yes.
out into the hallway. You safely close the door behind you.
Elevor goes, did I hear somebody rummaging with a bed? He would know that sound. It would be like Spidey senses.
Bed sense.
It must be Father Donovich.
Mhm.
moving
Oh, yeah, he
his bed.
probably rolled over. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
It does, and at that moment, Father Donovich is snoring quite loudly.
Somebody get him a CPAP. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
So, Ismark and Arena have basically just passed out from exhaustion at this point and are kind of curled up on the floor of this, ruined chapel, near their father's body. Crucible, you've performed that ritual on him at this point, which should, provide extra security and rest for him. So that you're prepared to bury him in the morning. It seems like the sun is setting, and the sun sets fast here in Barovia because of how overcast it is. Anything else you wish to do to prepare for the night? Because the night is coming.
Can we barricade the door?
The door to the outside. Yeah. There is Here in Barovia, there are certain precautions one must take. All of the windows are pretty narrow, and the main door to the church it's set up so that you can bar the door. It's got a big,
this
kinda
place is
crossbeam.
already pretty much messed up. Maybe I should just bring Pony inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please
I
don't
will-
leave Pony outside.
All
I will
right.
do that.
Also, how is the lighting in this place? Are there
Dark.
torches?
There are
What?
there are sconces that have candles in them, and probably some of the candles have been knocked over, and you can set them up, and so you can have dim light if you go around and light all the candles.
Okay.
Okay.
I will
Yeah.
do that, and while I am doing that, I will just use my light cantrip so I can see well enough to do all this.
Okay. So the sun is setting. You might munch on some rations as you enjoy
Yeah.
your first meal together as an adventuring party, your first dinner here in Barovia. And just as you're feeling like maybe things are gonna be okay, the screaming
Nope.
starts.
No, wait, excuse me, the who?
The screaming starts. Somewhere in
Is
the
that Mad
cathedral.
Mary again?
Somewhere. No, this is different. It's screaming. It's not the first screaming you've heard in Barovia. It's not going to be the last. Something in the church is screaming and wailing.
In the
In the
church?
church?
Sounds like it. Sounds nearby.
Like in this room that we're standing in?
Unclear. You
Perception
hear.
check.
You hear.
Perception
It sounds.
checks.
It just sounds like. "Rah! Ah!
Does it
Let
sound like
me
it's coming from
out!"
the Does it sound like it's coming from the trap door?
Roll perception.
I got 20.
20.
I got a 7.
22.
18.
That is 14.
14, 7, you hear screaming. 14, you think the screaming is coming from inside the church. Micah, you got a 20?
Yeah.
You are pretty confident it is coming from beneath your feet. I mean, like,
Oh,
below
good.
you, not, like, literally under your feet.
Oh,
It's just-
I jump in the air.
I'm trying to be very
Floorboard.
specific about the type of horror I'm creating
It's
here.
underneath
It's just
my
a very
shoe.
squeaky floorboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah. Just hold
screaming-
on. Look, when I step on this.
As you do that, it's clear that it is not that. The screaming and wailing continues. Some of it is kind of intelligible. Some of it sounds like words. You can make out some of it going, I'm starving! Father! Why did you leave me here? Let me out! Let me out! And the sound of something bumping against walls.
Okay, Father, what have you done?
I am going to heavily recommend that we push a desk on top of the trap door.
But don't you think we should go down and help? It sounds like somebody's in trouble.
I do not.
Clearly, there's a reason that Father
Can I roll an insight
dongle
on this
or-
screaming?
Yes.
I will join you in that.
How insightful.
That is a crit. It is
I mean,
28.
And I rolled a 25, so
Wow.
we kind of exchange
All
a
right.
look.
Very insightful.
I mean, what
Do
would,
we
what-
think this is just a cool dude?
is Jane? Where are you
Seems
from?
legit.
Lena, where are you from?
Barovia.
I mean, it sounds. It sounds sincere. It sounds like somebody is in
yeah.
great pain or suffering.
They're
It does not
hungry.
sound like a trap. It does sound like it's in the structure that you're in. Yeah, I'm not. Are there other things you'd like to know with an insight that I can help you out with? It does not sound like someone acting.
It sounds human?
Yeah, it sounds human. It does not sound like a
I
wolf.
think we should
that
help.
has been trained to say one.
Because I've got more bear pee.
There appears to be a soul in distress.
But it
I
is
think-
a soul that only begins to scream when the sun sets.
I
That's
agree.
the thing.
Most
Maybe they
peculiar, but perhaps
Just woke up.
How does the father sleep through this? First of all, that would be my first
Yeah,
question.
that's another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we should knock on the door and ask the father about this.
I think
Agreed.
Elivor should, since he bonded so well with Father Donovich.
Yeah, so if you can imagine me like ding, 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 just like sneaking up and I go to the door and I just creak it open.
His
Well,
door
it's
is locked.
Oh, shoot. Okay, then Father.
He's-
Father.
He's snoring pretty loudly in there.
And
Does
then-
anyone have knock? Just
That's
Yeah, we'll use it
just
on that
throw that
trap
out
door.
there.
And then I shout, Father!
You hear the creaking of a bed. Like, do straw beds creak? I don't know.
The frame might.
Let me tell
Yeah, the
you,
frame
I'm
might.
a professional.
And there's footsteps and the sound of a key clicking in a lock. And Father Donovich is
Oh, let
there.
me
He's
put
holding
my
a
tape in
candle. He's
there.
got like a nightcap on. And he says,
Nice.
Yes, my son, what is it?
Hey, pal, I don't want to alarm you, but you have someone screaming under your floors.
It's just the wind, my son. Go back to sleep. Or just pay it.
Oh,
pay it.
no.
No.
Pay it
I'm
no
gonna-
heed. These
no.
these are troubled
I'm gonna
times.
I'm going to need you to come out here.
It is best not to dwell on these things. He
Okay,
steps
I
into
have
the
to.
hallway
I'm going to
with
grab him. I'm going to grab his arm.
you. Okay, he comes willingly into the hallway with you.
Okay, and
The screaming is continuing.
So you hear that?
I don't. My hearing's not so good in my old age.
I don't like
Mm.
this.
I'm going to roll an insight now.
on
Yes.
Father.
16.
He seems to be a little evasive.
Mm.
Understatement.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
Do not dwell on it, my son. We have all had a trying day. Try and get what rest you can. It will be better in the morning.
I would like to
this I
try
assure
to
you.
persuade him to be honest with me.
Okay.
So I will say what
Give
I'm
me a
gonna say.
roll and then tell me what it sounds like.
It's,
You can adjust your
15.
performance based on the roll if you want.
Okay, I got 15. So here's what I'll say. So here's the deal. There's definitely someone screaming beneath the floorboards, and the way that I know that is because I've looked at everyone in this room except for you, and they're all saying there's someone screaming underneath the floorboards. So you're the only one in the room who's saying it's just the wind. And Father, I really felt like we sort of bonded earlier. We were very honest with each other, very open with each other. And so I'm going to need, there's this thing I just learned that your streets go both ways, like trust does.
It's
And so
true.
I'm gonna
All
need
the
you
streets in
to-
Little Barovia go both ways.
Right. And so how about a little bit of trust back and forth here, pal? Because, I said we were here to help, and we really do want to help. And that's going to include any people you're trying to hide who you just say are the wind, but are totally not the wind, because there's definitely someone underneath the floor right now who's screaming. And I'm running out of breath, but it's very important for me to sort of, we're having like this is a moment here. And Elivor takes his fingers and points them at his eyes and points them at Father's eyes. And I'm like, I'm looking you dead in the face. And Father, I believe that you believe in truth, and you believe in shining light on darkness, and you believe in shining light on lies. And so tell me to my face that there's not someone under the floor screaming right now. Go ahead.
Why don't you roll again, Micah? Because I'm going to say you have advantage. So take the higher. of
Does
those
he
two
believe
rolls.
in
That was
life
excellent.
after
While
love?
this is happening, Lena is walking by with a huge thing of wood to go and barricade the door.
Lena, just to specify which door are you barricading? The door.
The one to the trap door.
Gotcha. Okay.
That time I got 19.
All right. So if you're willing, Father Donovich is actually going to kind of pull you into this side room here, away from your friends.
Done.
Okay. So you step into this
And
room, and
Androdite's gonna go. I'm gonna have her go kind of stand.
sure. Okay. And he says, I tell you in confidence, you cannot speak a word of this to the townspeople.
Deal.
This is he kind of gestures to the little quiet empty room that you're sitting in. This was my son's room.
So that bed isn't being used.
No. Timing, people. He is he was misled. He an adventurer came to town, a brave noble person such as yourself, and he filled the people of the town with such hopes, and he led a group of them up the mountain, up the cliffs, to the castle to confront the Devil Strahd. And
Somebody write that down. We got a name.
I'm on it.
my son was the only one who came back. But what came back was not my son. And so I keep him. It is for his safety that I must keep him in the basement. If the people of the town knew what he was, knew what I had done, we would not be safe. And in the background, the screaming continues. Feed me! I'm starving! Let me out!
So do you have like pancakes or something? Because he sounds like he's really hungry.
We cannot feed him what he needs.
Oh no. What does he need?
He is...
Pizza.
A very
Sorry.
specific.
I am
Sorry.
evoking a
Sorry.
very specific gothic
Sorry.
aesthetic here.
Sorry.
You are fired. Oh man, you think fellow dungeon master you could count on, but no,
We're the worst. We're the worst.
Dan Morin is the
Mhm.
worst human being alive. Slash robot. So no. Sorry, Elevor. I do not know. I hope that the light will return to him someday, but it has been more than a year.
Keeping him in the dark surely isn't going to bring the light to him.
He will not go into the light. It burns him.
It burns him?
It burns him like
So-
a fire.
How come he's not screaming during the day? How come he's only screaming at night?
He sleeps during the day. It seems like there is some peace in him then. It is then that I have hope for him.
And you've tried feeding him different things, and
Will not take whatever I offer him.
I'm so sorry you have to sleep with your son screaming beneath you.
These are
Well, I
hard
mean, you
times
do
in
sleep pretty
Barovia.
well. I did hear you snoring earlier while this was going on. I assume you just have to get used to it after a while. You've got such patience and some sort of ability to compartmentalize. I'd love to learn those things from you.
I try.
And I guess
The screaming
Elevor sort of
continues.
pats him on the shoulder, and then he says, I need to tell my companions.
I understand, but please, just if you can make sure that the people do not find out. If you can spare Ismark and Irina some of the details. I do not ask you to lie. Just it is the safety of it is my own safety and my only child that you hold in your hands.
I completely understand. And as far as I know, they're asleep right now anyway. So we're just going to have a little Hudsley-do outside and have a little convo. And I'll let them all know, minus Arena and Bismarck Key. And we'll just chat and everything will be, sort of, this is the thing. The only way that we can help you with everything is if we're all sort of open and honest with each other. So I'm going to tell you, when I was a kid, I had a pet frog and I accidentally left that pet frog outside in the sunlight for too long with not enough water. And that pet frog actually died. And it's like, my biggest shame in life.
I think my situation is a little different.
Certainly a little different, certainly a little worse, but I just wanted you to know that sort of I trust you enough to tell you about that shame of mine. So, we're just, again, two-way streets in Barovia. You get the idea.
I appreciate your
trust.
words, my son. Barovia can be a dark land. I hope your time here is as painless as it can be.
Thank you. And then Elevor goes back out and sort of
Okay.
like makes eyes at everybody like, you need to hear this.
Father
And-
Donovich is just going to stay in this room kind of praying at the side of this bed.
Gotcha. And then I fill everybody in quietly so that the people whose names I always forget don't hear us. Irina and Mark.
They're out of it. So you have some time. The screaming continues. Father Donovich, you can hear the kind of mumbled sound of him praying in the bedroom at the end of the hall. The screaming does not stop, but the night continues on. It seems like, could things possibly get any worse? Could things get any stranger? Could things get any more miserable, any more unexpected in Barovia? Surely not. Surely not is what you think. As the grounds behind this church, the cemetery of the people of Barovia, begins to glow with fierce intensity of a green, pulsing light. How are things going to get worse for them? Exactly. Like, how are all these people going to die? Because this place is gloomy, right? Everyone, that's not just me. Just you guys, gloomy?
it's not-
A little
That
bit?
seems fine.
Yeah,
Little
seems
spooky?
fine.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
Why did we even agree to play this adventure? Who has left Tony in charge of this? It's all Dan's fault again, is what I'm saying. I'm going to answer that one right now.
Dan,
Dan.
Will we let Tony continue to
Steely
ever
Dan.
play again? For answers to just that question, just a question such as that, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.